Hey guys, Rudy here with the Retro Universe, and I took out the original DS and my copy of Animal Crossing Wild World that I have not been in for, I want to say, close to a year. I recall starting it at some point last year, but then ended up completely forgetting to go back in every day or other day. Sometimes these games require a little too much attention, which unfortunately my ADD brain can't always give it. So, I thought I would bust out the OG DS, since that is what I used to play this game on the most back in the day, and see what's going on in my little village. These games really don't like it when you're away from them for so long, and they make sure to punish you by leaving weeds all over the place. I don't know if I'll start up a new save, since I don't think I want to sit there for hours clearing all the weeds that I'm sure have made their way into the village. I'm sure my villagers will have quite a bit to say about my absence as well. Animal Crossing Wild World will always hold a very special place in my heart, as it was my very first Animal Crossing experience, and I played it so much to the point that I would have it with me on New Year's countdowns back then. It really did consume a large part of my time back then, and while newer versions have added a lot of quality of life features and improvements, I still like the simplicity of going back to this version. It did have touch controls as well, but you could control the game that way if you really wanted to. I always preferred the buttons, it's just my way of playing. My village clearly needs to be cleaned out, so if I do end up jumping back into this game, I will likely start a new town. I'm sorry, villagers. I really enjoy the music from Wild World, and I'm sorry to say, but New Leaf and New Horizons have nothing on Wild World's soundtrack, and the night and day music. You also still had the post office, and I was sad to see some characters go away in the newer games. I know it seems silly sometimes to go back to an older version of a game that may be tougher to play just because of what we are used to nowadays. I think that's why nostalgia is such a powerful thing. It lets you go back to some memories and relive experiences from simpler times in your own life. Wild World may not be the best Animal Crossing game, but I think it had a lot of heart. The villagers also had a lot more to say, and their dialogue didn't feel quite as repetitive as it does in New Horizons. So it looks like it's been about 9 months since I was last in this town, and of course someone like Tom Nook could care less as he just wants his mortgage money. I don't blame him for it, but a how have you been would have been nice. It's also nice to see that the Able sisters are here and present and doing their thing. I clearly didn't spend much time in this town when I fired it up, as the Nook's Cranny is still in its initial form. I love seeing it expand into bigger versions of itself. I guess I don't have much more to say about this game, but even starting it up today, I felt great peace in just hearing its music and sounds. If you've exhausted your time in New Horizons, I would recommend finding a copy of this game and checking it out, just to see the simpler days of Animal Crossing. It is usually pretty cheap since it's sold pretty well, and I would recommend playing it on a DS and not a 3DS. For some reason the game just runs quite poorly on a 3DS, so try and play it on an actual DS system instead. That's going to do it for the video, guys. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.